Well, hello there.
Hello.
Hello and welcome
Hello,
to Back in the
everyone.
Closet with the two crazy cat ladies and our kitty cats.
Our sweet babies.
How are you
Ooh,
guys
see my
doing?
little Jacqueline right here.
We got a little dust, a little fur on us.
Oh, we need to go to.
It's and that's why I scooted it closer so I can go to your comments. Here we go. Hey guys.
Hi. Hey, Robin.
Welcome everyone. Hello, Robin, my third dose. Oh, I love you so much.
Hey, Erica.
Sundays are quite crazy, huh? Because we are live a lot. And I'll tell you why we do this. Now it's going to be changing in 2022. And it won't be all like stuffed into one day. In fact, there's going to even be more lives coming in 2022. It's just going to be spread out a bit. We're going to have Think About It Thursday. I'm going to tell you that. That's just there you go. We're going to have Think About It Thursday.
Little tease
For 2022. But we're really excited because we're going to actually take Sundays off in 2022. And by off, I mean where we don't have to feel like we need to put on makeup or use equipment and go live. It's still our favorite thing to do. But the reason that we do it is because up until July, Adrian, for the past, we've only been doing this since 2019, right? Or the beginning of 2019. So 3 years.
Hi, T.
Adrian has always worked a full-time job. So she was always, and by a full-time job, I mean, she was doing something completely different. And so she was only available like nights and weekends. And sometimes she wasn't even available then. So we were like, well, let's just do all the stuff and things on Sundays. Pack it all in on Sundays. But now she's full-time with us.
Cheers.
As the Two Crazy Cat Ladies. She's the other half of the Two Crazy Cat Ladies. And so it's not going to all be back to back. So I know a lot of you guys, I would at least get this way for sure. That it might be like, oh wow, they're going to be live at this time, and then they're going to be live at this time, and then live at this time. And it's like, if you really want to, it might be a little bit too much to follow every live. And
I'm excited though. We're gonna spread it out, and we're working on the. Oh my goodness, your little feetsies, Jack. We're gonna spread it out, but there's gonna be so much. There's going to be some fun new stuff in 2020.
Georgina's here for the first time live. Hello, Georgina.
Welcome.
Yes.
How exciting.
So we're gonna have some really exciting stuff happening in 2022, and we're really excited about it. And that's gonna kind of get to the point of our podcast today, which is a little bit about a book. In fact, that we're gonna talk about. So let's go ahead. So we go live for Georgina. We go live here on Facebook and on YouTube for our podcast on Sundays right now. That's going to be changed. I don't remember what day we put that on, but it's going to change to another day. But we record our podcast, and it's called Back in the Closet with the Two Crazy Cat Ladies. And the reason is because we're in our closet, and we do this in our closet because it's the one space where you can really it muffles the sound. What's the
dampens the sound.
Yeah, it's the one place in
audio.
It's the one place in our.
Put your whole tail in my beverage, bud.
Oh goodness, it's the one place where sound is good. So let's
jump right in, shall we?
Welcome to episode number 0097 of Back in the Closet with the Two Crazy Cat Ladies. Did you forget the number again?
I did. I thought it was 98.
No.
Wow.
I'm
rushing it.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to have like a podcast party when we hit 100.
Oh, I think that's a good idea. Yeah, let's have a podcast party.
Yeah.
That's coming up then.
I know.
Oh, it's going to be like our first episode is it going to be our first episode of 2022?
If this episode is number 100? 98, 99. Oh, wow. Is it? Or it's going to be the week of Christmas?
No. Maybe?
I don't know if my phone on the charge, so I can't look at the calendar.
Anyway, we're excited for a new year. We were just talking on our live here on Facebook and YouTube about how we've got a lot of exciting stuff coming up in 2022, and we're going to be revamping schedules, and we're going to be we actually just planned on another new thing for you guys in 2022, and for those of you guys that were able to join us earlier today, we did a roundtable discussion on our Facebook page and YouTube channel with none other than Pam Roussel with Perfectly Holistic, Julianne Thorne from Naturally Cats, and Dr. Katie Woodley, the natural pet doctor. And that was really fun. We talked about stressing cats, and it was fun to just kind of,
It was very conversational, and it was
Yeah.
really amazing to have like the mind trust, the brain trust. What is that?
Yeah.
Of Pam and Dr. Katie and Julianne.
It's just being able to come at like, the Pam, if you guys don't know Pam Roussel with Perfectly Holistic,
It was her idea.
It was her idea. She specializes in energy testing and muscle testing and healing. Dr. Katie Woodley is a natural pet doctor, a homeopathic, integrative pet veterinarian, and Julianne Thorne from the UK just has a marvelous accent, and she specializes in herbs and behaviors in cats and all kinds of stuff. So they're just amazing. Like really awesome humans in general.
Hope so. She said it was awesome. It
was
so much fun.
And so when we got off, we talked with them after the live for about another hour or hour and a half. And we chatted about a bunch of stuff that's happening. And we decided that we want to start doing that more often. So we're going to be doing that. I believe everybody is on board for monthly.
I think so.
Monthly next year.
Imagine?
It's not going to be on Sunday, so it's going to be on another day of the week. And I don't know which one. We have to figure out our schedules, but yeah, TBD. But that's going to be fun. We'll have all kinds of different, endless amounts of subjects to talk about when it comes to our cats and their health and well-being and attitudes and personalities and all this stuff and things. So, so it's going to be, so that's another thing we're adding into 2022 that I'm really excited about.
Well, what's fun too, and it kind of segues into our topic for today, is that these incredible women they're all entrepreneurs. They're all following their passion to make a difference in their own ways, in their own little pockets of the universe. And I think that it's a fascinating commonality trying to navigate that. I mean, you guys might not know that we've been the Two Crazy Cat Ladies for
6 years.
6 years. I mean, obviously we were Two Crazy Cat Ladies a lot longer than that, which is why we called our company
not trademarked and not official. Official.
But we decided that it was something that we were very passionate about. And it's been and like Jay just said, up until July of this year, I've been working a full-time job.
Mm-hmm. And Pam has been working a full-time job and is going full-time for her business. Julie and Thorne also just recently went full-time with her business. And Dr. Woodley is just like all over the place. She's 100% entrepreneur working for herself, but also working at bringing the whole family in. She's working on a whole bunch of new stuff for 2022 too also. So it's really exciting. And I think that there's also just a lot of we talk about on our podcast, we talk about cats, of course, and all this stuff and things that we love and learn about cats, but we also talk a little bit about our business and that is it's been quite a journey, and it's so interesting. You hear so many people say it, and it's like until you actually do it, you don't know really how hard it can be, but at the same time how and how nerve-wracking it can be, maybe even stressful it can be, but how rewarding it is at the end of the day when you're doing what you love, you know. But
ideally making a difference in some way.
Right. But like for all these years, we've always, worked for someone. And that was our main source of income. That was, working for someone means that you don't, where your paycheck's coming from, how much it's going to be, all those stuff and things. I love that.
There's a sense of security and there's a sense of interestingly, I think freedom, because it's not, at the end of the day, it's not, if it's a bad day, it's not your problem, right?
Yeah,
it's
you
someone
can still
else's
clock
business,
out,
right? Usually that was not necessarily
Depends
the case
on the job.
For me for the last 4.5 years, but there is that, you can do everything that you can do, but someone else at the end of the day is accountable for everything. And when you're running your own business, that is you. And I think we both kind of fell under the illusion. You've always had an entrepreneurial spirit. And
Yeah. I ran like side businesses. It was
Yeah.
always service, never like a product based business. It was always a service based business, but I always like had like a side gig going. And so I had like, I knew how to like run books, right? Or whatever, but nothing on this
do
level.
all the accounting and
Do the-
the administrative stuff. But I think even we certainly did kind of fall into the illusion. I think a lot of people when they're starting a business are like, oh, if I start this, get all these things, all these ducks in a row, then in 6 months,
That's
I'm
what we
gonna be
thought.
right. 6 months turn into 6 years
Yep.
before things really got. But I think that's where it's so important. And what we wanted to talk about today was how excited we are to read this book by Gary Vaynerchuk.
Yes, it's called 12 and a half.
Yes.
And we haven't read it yet. But it's
We've read
talking
the
about
intro.
leveraging the emotional ingredients necessary for business success. And if you guys don't know Gary Vee, you either love him or you hate him. It's very interesting because I think we saw him before we started our journey, started our
We're like,
business,
"Who is
and we
this
were just
kid?"
kind of like, but then listening to him, he's one of the kindest and most intelligent. He just resonates with me. You know how you always find somebody in whatever world you're in that resonates, like their personality or the way that they speak or whatever resonates with you. He resonates with me, and so I pre-ordered this book in August, and it just arrived. And he's talking about the emotional ingredients. And we read the intro to it yesterday. We haven't started the actual book yet. We read the intro, but he's talking about how the running a business, or actually just being a leader in general. He says, if you are a pet parent, you are a leader. If you have one person, if you're an older sibling, you are a leader. If you are a parent, you are a leader. Like there are so many different realms of being a leader. You don't have to be an entrepreneur, like meaning you don't have to start your own business to be a leader. And these are the ingredients that he's saying that are quantifiable, if you will. So basically, when it comes to business specifically, there are, he talked to your accountant, and it's like, it's all about the percentages. It's all about the percentage of growth here, the percentage of growth there, blah, blah, blah. When you look at, you talk to a business coach, it's like, well, we needed to see everything on a spreadsheet. We want to just, spell it out and see, what the growth is over 90-day periods, right? You want to know every quarter, are we growing? If you invest in the stock market.
Well, it's basically that the success is judged on the bottom line in a lot of ways, and that it's something that's very black and white. And I think that we have really found, especially through our business journey, that it is so much more than that. When you really do have a passion that you are invested in, and you're going to make that happen no matter what, you figure out what, for us, it was, Jay is the business mind, and I was able to go get a full-time job. So we just decided early on, this was going to work best if you run the business, because I'm not capable of juggling that many balls or spinning that many plates at once.
Glass balls.
Balls. I'm not a master multitasker. I'm not a type A OCD person.
Right.
And in this instance, those are very valuable things to have. So for us, I worked a full-time job, and we kind of figured out how to make what we wanted to do work, or still work towards that. But some of the things here that he talks about, and I think these are just some of my favorite words ever. And if you happen to catch the roundtable today with Dr. Katie and Julian Thorne and Pam Russell, one of Dr. Katie's closing remarks were closing thoughts. It was about stress and cats, right? But she was saying, what can you do for yourself? And for her, and I think it was such an encouragement and reminder for so many of us, the practice of gratitude, putting yourself in that grounded mindset of recognizing your blessings was a big thing. And it is number 1 on Gary's list.
Gratitude is chapter 1.
Yeah.
And then self-awareness, accountability, optimism, empathy, kindness, tenacity, curiosity, patience, conviction, humility, ambition, and the half. It's called 12 and a half because he's like, these are the 12 that I have, that I implement into my daily decision. And he's a multimillionaire,
couple businesses.
Yeah, it runs has way more,
started working his
juggles way
dad's
more than
wine shop though. I
than
mean,
we do with our,
he's got a great
Yeah.
story as far
Yeah.
as
but his half is kind candor, and he talks a little bit in humility about how he has some of the worst decisions, if you will, decisions that he's made, the things that he's probably lost out on most in his business life, in his professional life, is by not practicing kind candor. And so we'll get to that. We're excited to learn about that too. But thinking about like a lot of these, they almost seem like opposites, right? Like if you're talking about convict, or you're talking about tenacity and empathy, or you're talking about kindness and drive, right? Ambition and patience, right? Ambition and patience. Can you have patience and ambition at the same time? Like it's a lot, but I feel like it's already resonating with us because there is so much of this that I think we also not knowingly, I mean, gratitude is definitely one of those that we do our best to practice in our business, but it's not even that hard because we're so grateful for you guys.
Well, but I think it's also fascinating too. When we first read the intro, I see so many of these things where I think we're extra blessed because there are two of us. You know,
Yeah.
so many of the people that we meet that are really journeying out on their own adventure, right?
Yeah.
It's just them, and I think that it's such a blessing to us because I look through that list and I think, oh, you are way better at this one than I am,
Right.
or I think I've got a better grasp on this, and I think somehow we've managed to balance each other's gifts is a, I don't know, dramatic word, but kind of skills or whatever, naturally along the way, where we've managed to continue navigating even when we think, oh, this is definitely not working, right? We know that it's working. There's something within both of us that's very dedicated to this, knowing that this is what we're supposed to be doing. But I think that's been an extra blessing, is that we've had each other to help balance out.
Yeah, very grateful for that, to be able to be two of us, for sure. And I know other people in the industry even that have said like, yeah, well, there's two of you. So, you know, it's a little easier, and I almost feel guilty for there being two of us, but I also just so grateful.
Oh, I could never go live. I'm sorry, you guys, but
I would never either.
I mean, I have very briefly when Jay was in Australia, but on a regular basis, it would be very difficult. I have such admiration
for people
that are able to
go live on their own and be
carry it live for.
Yeah. I would not do it. I don't even know. I don't even know if I would record. Like I wouldn't even record podcasts if it were just me. I would feel like nobody wants to listen to me. You know, like we're able to just kind of, I think together, together we're better. We're all better together. That's for sure. But it's very interesting how in being a leader, there is so much more than and running a business. There's so much more than the bottom line and looking at your final numbers, and that almost when you're looking at the emotional ingredients necessary, it's almost also stressful, because it's like, I can't measure this. I can't, like, there's not a way to really see if we're doing the right thing. We just have to kind of go with our gut and go with our what's the word I'm looking for?
Well, intuition. I think
intuition.
My mom always called it following your moral compass. I think that's a good, you know, it's kind of what resonates with you, what it is that you feel good about doing at the end of the day, what decisions you can make that are, regardless of how difficult they may be, that you feel peaceful with. And I think that kind of analogy of a moral compass is something that has been a great guide to us along the way. And sometimes it requires much discussion before we have such different perspectives on so many things.
And there are many, and it's specifically people, I think, when like certain people are coming into our sphere, whether that be, you know, just a follower, or whether it be a customer, or whether it be a potential business partner, or whoever, we sometimes have completely different. I'm like, I'm getting great vibes. And she's like,
I'm getting
not
red
getting,
flags.
and opposite too, where it's like, red flag, red flag, red flag, slow that down. And then she's like, but I mean,
Oh,
but
what?
Jay is always right. So, so
She does have a proclivity towards
uh,
correctness.
yeah, a proclivity toward correctness. Okay, there you go. I'm
Yeah.
not always right. I
not
just
always
have a
right. She
proclivity
just has
toward correctness.
right. But even that is something what I
Yeah.
really like about this book, and just kind of that breakdown, which we're so excited about reading, and yes, we're doing a podcast on it before we read it, is that
And we'll do one after we read it too.
It really acknowledges that whole emotional aspect of business and how necessary it is to have a grasp on that in some way, even if it's just a cursory acknowledgement to start with, that it is such an important ingredient to building a business.
Yeah.
And I think that that's exciting, that someone of Gary Vee's magnitude, if you will, someone who has really been learning business since he was a kid in his dad's liquor store, that he has really gained so much knowledge, and recognizing that the emotional intelligence aspect of business is absolutely invaluable. And you see a lot of businesses fail because it's not
because they're
acknowledged or
lacking.
implemented.
Yeah, because of the lacking of. And I'll tell you, someone else who prior to Gary Vee, and may he rest in peace, Tony Hsieh, the owner of Zappos. He was also one of my biggest mentors, if you will. Never met either one of them. I saw him, Tony. We saw at a
pizza place.
It was a pizza place downtown once.
Vegas.
But he wrote a book called Delivering Happiness, and it was the story of Zappos and how it got started, and but also the story of how he got started as an entrepreneur. And it was very fascinating, because he was all about building culture, and how basically all of these things, right? Like how it takes more of the emotional. He didn't put it in these terms, but more about building a culture versus building a business. And when you build a culture, that business thrives.
Yeah.
And so it's really interesting at how, like, we're seeing ourselves grow. We now have 3 employees, and it's and we know, I mean, 2022 is about to be full of all kinds of stuff. So like reading this book to kick off the new year, and really start on the right foot, with 2 crazy cat ladies, and doing all we can to.
And I want to give a shout out to good old Don Palmer for a minute too,
Oh my gosh,
who was a bit of a business mentor to you. She worked with him for many years, helped him with his businesses, and he said, business is always about relationships. And reading through this list of 12 and a half, it really is so, it really hits home that all these things aren't just about business. It is about relationships.
Yeah.
And how that is the kingpin for so many things. And authentic, real relationships can sometimes be difficult to find. I think we live in a very fractured world right now, and people feel like relationships can be tough, whether it's within your family or workplace or whatever it may be. And it just strikes me how different it would be for everyone if they were implementing these on a personal level, all these things on a personal level, and how I think that's why it resonates so much with us
right now,
in our
especially
almost 20 years of knowing each other, more than 20 years of knowing each other now. How most of the things that we've learned a fraction of in this list are things that we learned just together. Relationally together. And it's really exciting I'm excited to read this book, because I think it's just 2022 is going to be an exciting year. And this is going to be, I think, a huge tool in our toolbox to keep us focused on perspective and positivity and all those things.
Yeah. And I mean, we've literally, as far as, like she said, that I'm like that, I am type A, I get that. And I am OCD, and I can multitask. Okay. So those are 3 gifts that I've been given. But they're also curses at the same time.
Sometimes for both of us.
I told Adrian the other day, I was like, listen, if I continue to think, if I just made a TikTok video I would find all the friends. I would find all the stuff and things. If I made a TikTok video of what's going on in my head all day long, like walking by, like, oh my gosh, that picture is crooked. Need to fix that. Like as an OCD person, like somebody who literally walks around the house and like all day long, it's something like need to sweep up that litter. Okay, now need to do this or need to do that. Don't have time. Can somebody else do that? Like when will I be okay with that's fine. It's going to be fine. I don't need to make the bed right now. Fine. Cats are sleeping on it. That's fine. Don't have to make it. It's going to be fine. Like I have
That
to
would
talk
be,
myself through so much stuff.
especially living with me.
Oh God, she's like Linus. Like she just drops crumbs everywhere she walks, even if she's not eating. Like literally, she just poops them out or something. Like crumbs everywhere she walks. Um, but what was I gonna say now? I forgot. Um, Oh, but when it came to starting this business and figuring out how to get it off the ground, get it going, literally no idea. Sure, I knew how to run some books. Sure, I've done a little bit in marketing with our last company. Sure, I like have the skills of multitasking and figuring things out. I know how to figure things out. But when it comes to selling something, figuring out how to make a profit, figuring out how to run a business on your own. No idea, had no idea. Neither one of us did. And it was like, let's just drive, let's just keep moving forward. Regardless, we know we're supposed to be doing this. We had all our gut and
shout
our
out to
intuition.
Damon John, who wrote
Yeah.
the book Rise and Grind. That was just
Rise and Grind and the Power of Broke.
our motto for a long time. Till
Mhm.
I mean, in so many ways, still today, it's and grind.
I love these books.
And grind in the most amazing way, right? Like it's an incredible thing to get up and be able to do what you feel passionate about. It's an incredible thing. It's still so new to me. Just being full-time here since July and being able to be part of the team. Jay was working with Trish and Lindsay, just the three of them for many months before I was able to come on. So it feels so exciting to be able to be plugged into this. And I know everyone has their own path to get to this, but it's an incredible thing. So that rise and grind, people always think, well, that sounds very unpleasant. It is the most incredible thing. I think that so many of us know that work is joy in so many ways, that work has a bad connotation, but work is also something that brings us all so much satisfaction if we're able to do the work we're purposed to do. And I feel like,
and that doesn't mean just being your own boss or working for yourself.
No,
I'm like the hardest boss I've ever had. Literally,
she's really a bitch.
The hardest boss I've ever had. I am not
to her.
To me, I'm not to you guys.
No.
I'm just like everything's on my shoulders all the time. So it's like I have to do everything. I have to fix everything. I have to everything is my fault. And so so I'm the hardest boss I've ever had. There have been many times where it's like, wow, life would be so much easier if just had a different boss.
I'd come home from working 16 hours. She'd be like, sure wish I could work a full-time job. Like where I'm not still working at 10 o'clock.
But when we knew that this was what we were supposed to do, we just did everything that we know to do, which is be ourselves and
we keep learning
and continue to be humble. I think we're going to really love the humility one. But just be, humble and do what we feel needs to be done for others, right? And then somehow that is turned into a 6-year business, and in which now we have a group of 5 of us, and that's
and it's amazing. It's kind of surreal today to spend time with Dr. Katie and Pam Roussel and Julianne Thorne, and it's like, wow, this is the most extraordinary thing to be a part of. And it's what makes this community so amazing too. Our commonality is our cats, right? And I think that the crazy cat lady connotation has been something that we call ourselves the 2 crazy cat ladies to kind of push back on that a little bit, because why should there be these stereotypes attached to being guardians to these incredible beings and doing it to the best of our ability? And it's so amazing to be in the presence of other people who have that shared passion and really do acknowledge these
beautiful
babies as some of our best teachers and some of the most incredible individuals will ever meet in this life. And learning how to care for them, I think, makes us all better humans.
Yeah. Well, and it brings us all together too.
Yeah,
Right?
which
Like
is
like
so beautiful.
the most amazing thing is that we get to be a part of other people that really get it, that really
Really beautiful
really do
humans.
care. Yeah, beautiful. I mean, it's the common thing. And it's funny. I don't know if we did a podcast on it or we were interviewed on a podcast with Inspire Unity.
Oh,
And
Inspire
they were
Unity. Go
talking
follow
about,
them.
yeah, it was quite amazing because one of the guys was talking about how there's just so much division going on, and we really need, like, we can all unite on certain things. And he said, I just went to my first football game in his town. He's like, I can't believe I never went before.
Cleveland Browns.
Yeah, that was it. The
Not a
Cleveland
lot of
Browns.
Cleveland Browns fans out there.
And he was like, I can't believe I never went, but I went. And he said it was amazing. And there's like a touchdown or something, and we just all jumped up. He's like, this guy that I've never have no idea who he is. We're high fiving. He's like, I almost hugged the dude. And it's like, those are the moments when you realize that, I don't know what his political beliefs are, what his religious beliefs are, if he has, if he has COVID. Like, no, I don't know, but I don't know what, his stance is in the world. But I know that we united on that one thing. And if we can all unite on this one thing, then we can find the beauty in each other and love each other regardless. We can unite this way. And that's what we have here, is a group of all of us. We're all different people. We all think differently. We have, Adrian and I, even, like, we have, like, we think differently. We have different, thought processes. We have different ideas about things. We have different, grew
Likes
up in
and
different,
dislikes.
yeah, different likes and dislikes, but we all unite under the same thing, that we love our cats. And that makes us be able to love each other regardless of, even if we find out that your political beliefs or your religious beliefs or something don't mesh with ours. We don't care. We love you because you love your cats.
I think something that all of us intrinsically know is that there is just such a oneness, and those moments, however infrequent they may be for whatever reason, are an incredible reminder, and they resonate so deeply with us, because deep down, I think we all get that there is a oneness, and the more that we feed that, the more that we nourish that, I think makes it a powerful thing. And this community has been an extraordinary example of what that feels like on a regular basis for us. And it blows our minds that we get to
do this,
be a part of this, and this is part of what we're doing in life.
Yeah.
So thank you.
So that's going to wrap up this podcast, episode number 0097 of Back in the Closet. Thank you guys so much for joining us. And I think maybe it's a good way to start out your week, right? Just start thinking a little bit about the emotional ingredients necessary to get through your week maybe better. I mean, when you implement things like gratitude and things like optimism, right? Like a lot of these pieces and these ingredients, patience in your day-to-day life, it just makes things better, right? It makes you be able to have a better week. It makes you be able to have a better day, a better life, if you can consistently implement these emotional ingredients for success in life, success as a pet parent, success as a business, whatever it is,
in relationships,
and in all your relationships, So thank you guys so much for joining us, and we will see you very soon. Mwah.
We love you guys.
Can you reach
real quick? Liz has a question. I'm so sorry to hear that you have COVID.
Oh no, Liz! I'm so
Trisha's
sorry.
here. Hi. I have COVID and I'm scared my cat can catch it. Can I give her Virax to prevent?
You can't absolutely give Virax as a prevention but it is also possible, according to the studies that have been done, for cats to catch COVID. But so don't put your face near, don't do the kisses and the whatever until you know that you're symptom free. But
the good news is that most of the studies do show that cats, while they may actually be carrying it, are mainly asymptomatic. So I know that there was a case of I think it was a tiger that was actually showing symptoms.
Yeah.
But
respiratory
But
distress. But I
it's
would use the
not the
Virax,
same for
Liz, and I
cats
would
as it is
just
for us.
you don't have to like not touch your cat,
Right.
but let's just not put our faces real close to our
Yeah.
kitties at the
And
time.
if anyone has any words of encouragement for her, drop them in the comments. So I think a lot of people with cats have struggled through COVID, and I think that one of our VIPs, our beautiful
Two of our
Robin
VIPs
here,
possibly
might
now
and I
have.
think that they're all doing good. So don't worry too much.
Yeah,
if you can.
Try to stay stress free too.
Yes.
It's one of the worst parts of COVID, right?
I can't move because I have
is
this
the
gorgeous
stress of
panther
it.
on my lap. Can you
Oh
guys
my
see?
God.
you wanna
He's
show them
barely
your-
opening his
Do you want to
eyes.
show them your glow balls?
He's like, no,
Nancy?
I don't even want to open these glow balls.
Oh my God.
I'm in a trance. Okay, guys, we're going to be back at 6 p.m. So in about 30 minutes, 40 minutes, we're going to be back live for a cat tip review on Facebook. So if you guys are on Facebook, come join us there. And we love you so
Okay, well,
much.
Happy Sunday, y'all.
Mwah. Happy Sunday.
Thanks for being beautiful humans. Mwah.
Bye, guys.